Okay, once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get started on HFX course this evening on the 19th of July. So we'll be doing a whole lot of learning today. So I'm going to share my screen. Screen shared. We're good to go. Now, quickly, before we get started, before I start with history of Forex, a few things to note for this course. On HFX, I'm going to take you through Forex, basics of Forex. So I'm going to take you through the basics of Forex. I'm going to take you through understanding of pips, lot size, and time frame. Very important. We're going to look at support and resistance. We're going to look at the trend. Then we're going to come down to HFX platforms, setting up a HFX platform. Then we're going to look at strategies on HFX. We're going to look at how fundamentals affect HFX. Then we're going to look at the checklist, things to look out for before you trade. Now, on those checklists, if you don't get at least 90%, don't trade the markets. So we'll look at those checklists. Then we're going to look at the risk. The risk. What level of risk should you take trading HFX? How do you mitigate risk? How do you find opportunity? Now we're going to look at the psychology of trading. Very important. We've got to look at psychology. Then we're going to look at knowing when to trade and when to exit. That's the last thing we're going to look at on this course. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready for this class, let's move to the first thing. The number one is the history of Forex. I know most of us here have never traded before. Some have traded before, but I'm going to assume no one has traded before. So this is the first class we're having. Now, quickly, before we dive into HFX, we need to understand the history of Forex. Now, you see my screen so you can make your notes. Now, Forex started with bartering system and moved to commodity system. You have the bartering system, that the exchange of barter, where you exchange goods for another goods. I want to buy rice. Someone sells oil. We can trade, give my rice and get oil in return. That's actually how the system started. So we moved shortly from battery system to commodity system. That is the use of cowries. You know, the olden days used to be cowries. They will move from that to coin system where you use coin money. The major challenge of coin money is the bulkiness. Now, if you have 1 million naira and they're all in coin, it means you can't run away from your house. You need to provide extra security in your house to protect the money. You know, then we move from that to paper money. And then from paper money, we move to Bretton Woods system. That is currency that are backed by US dollar and gold. And today we have cryptocurrency, which is the latest evolution in money. Now, having seen through all these, it's very important for you to understand where we're coming from. Like I said before in the introduction, I will not waste so much time. If you do have questions, please let me know early. So if you have questions, let me know. Is that okay? Great. Now, the history of currency, the history of Forex. Majorly in the market, people trade currency, the USD. 85% of the currency traded is the USD, followed by the euro, followed by the Japanese yen, followed by Great Britain pounds, and then Australian dollar, then Swiss francs, that's the CHF, Canadian dollar, and others. These others include both your currency, every other thing that's in the market, gold, name them. Now, things that affect the markets include politics, interest rates, natural disaster, terrorism, war, unemployment, export, import, inflation figure, electoral processes, that's politics, they all affect the market. Either they affect the market negatively or positively. So in Forex trading, we take note of these things out because they affect the market. They should either affect our profitability or they will affect our losses in the market as well. So having said that, I want to quickly go further to look at other factors too in the market. Like this, major currencies. Now, if you look at my script now, you're seeing the major currency. But before that, let me share a screen with you. Let me share another screen. And then there are 8 major currencies. 8 major currencies. So I'll share a screen where we'll do some writing. I need you to write as fast as possible. Great. Okay. So there are 8 major currencies. So I'm going to list them. 8 major currencies you trade in the market. 8 major currencies. Traded in the market. Number 1 is euro. Now, number 2 is Great Britain pounds. So we call it GBP. GBP. So it is known as Great Britain pounds. Okay. The number 3, you have AUD, which means Australian dollar. Australian dollar. Remember, this first one is called the euro. Euro. Okay. Then, after Australian dollar, the fourth one is New Zealand. New Zealand. Dollar. New Zealand dollar. So New Zealand dollar is called NZD. Now I need you to take note of these currency pairs here because this is how they are abbreviated. You won't have to write the full names. We'll see more of this in coming day. Then you have the 5th one to be the USD. Of course, everybody here understand what USD means. Is the United States dollar. There's a double L in the dollar. Then number 6, you have the card. The card is Canadian dollar. And then 7, you have CHF. CHF is Swiss francs. Swiss franc. Swiss franc. Number 8. And the last one, you have JPY. JPY means Japanese yen. So these are the 8 major currency pairs you will see in the Forex markets. These are the 8 major currency pairs. Have we all taken note of them? Have we taken note of all the currency pairs? If you have taken note of the currency pair, I need you to type 1 on the chat box.
Yes, sir.
Okay, amazing. Now, the next thing, very important, is not just this. The next thing is the pairing. How does this currency pair? How do you pair this currency? Because we're actually interested in the pairing. Nobody has ever made money from one single currency. Now, take for instance the Aboki. Aboki cannot tell you that, oh, I traded Naira and I made money. No, he has to exchange Naira and dollar. That's the way it works. So the exchange must happen when two currency combine together. I've never seen anybody who said I exchanged Naira to Naira. Like you exchange Naira to Naira and you made money. So only when we have two currency together. So pairs. Pairs. So in pairs, there's an order of nomenclature. Remember, we have euro, we have euro, the 8 major currencies. So I'm just going to give you the order and then you do the pairing yourself. Euro, GBP, AUD, NZD, USD, CAD, CHF, JPY. Ladies and gentlemen, please take notes. Every currency is presented in 3 digits. 3 digits. Every currency must be in 3 digits. No 2 digits, no 1 digit, no 4 digits. They must be in 3 digits, and this is the format. Including our Naira. If you want to add Naira to it, it is what? NGN. That is Naira. If you want to add South African Rand, is ZAR. ZAR. That's the South African. That's the symbol of the currency. But we're not looking at this. So it must be 3 currencies. So, but we're looking the 8 currency pairs. So we have 8 of them here. We have euro 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's complete. So we have 8 of them here. Now, how these 8 pair with each other will determine the currency pairs. Now, this is the order. This is the order. Excuse me. So euro is the first order. This is the first order. So any currency that combine with euro must be the first. Then GBP is the second. Are you following me? AUD is the third. And NZD is the fourth. So USD is the fifth, CAD is the sixth, CHF is the seventh, and so what I just wrote now is this order. So if I want to combine this currency, take a note of this. If I want to combine this currency, first of all, before I do that, there are 2 major arrangements. Now here's the 2 major currency arrangements. The first currency is known as the base, and the second one is known as the quote. Now, there's no currency you call base, and there's no one you call quote. What it simply means is that the first one that appears is the base. The last one is the quote. Now, let me give you a typical example. If we want to combine 2 currencies here, we can say Euro, USD. Now, quotes are usually 6 characters. Sorry, currency pairs. Pairs, because they are combination of 2, are usually 6 digit letter. Okay. Is that correct, sir? Is that presented like 6 digit letter? 6 character. I think it's 6 character letter. I think it's characters, not digits. character or 6 letters. That's even okay. That's 6 letters. So pairs are usually 6 letters, 3 from one currency and 3 from the other currency. So like I said before, when these two combine, I know that is Euro USD. So here now, Euro is the base. Is the base. And USD is the quote. Now you following me, guys? Is the quote. So whichever one that comes first, and you see a typical example again, you have USD JPY. So you have another 6 character. Here, USD is the base. And JPY is the quote. Now, does everyone understand this? Does everyone understand? If you understand this, please put 2 on the chat box. Then we'll move on. We will not say, okay, the first one, because USD was quote. Look at the first one, Euro USD. This first one, Euro USD. We will not say because USD was the quote here is going to be the quote. No. It's basically which one comes first becomes the base. The second one becomes the quote. Now, again, we might likely run into another problem here. How do they combine this thing? Do we just combine them anyhow we like? No. There's a combination formula, and that's the formula I wish to state here. Now, anytime any currency, pay attention, listen, anytime any currency combined with euro, euro is going to be the base. Anytime any currency from this list you are seeing here, combined with euro, euro is going to be the base. So, having said that, what it means that we're going to have euro GBP, euro AUD. Okay, so guys, complete the remaining for me. Complete the remaining for me. So we're going to move to GBP. Anytime we have GBP as the currency, that's in the absence of euro, and GBP is combining with every other currency, GBP is going to be the base. So here we're going to have GBP, what next? We can't have GBP euro because GBP euro, we have seen GBP euro here. So we can't have GBP euro again. So it will not, from this point, it will not go above to pair with anybody. It's going to pair and all the currency below it. So you have GBP euro, AUD, sorry. We're going to have GBP NZD, and then you have complete the remaining one, guys. So the next one is going to be AUD. Now AUD can't combine with GBP because GBP is above it. It can't serve as base to GBP. So we're going to have GBP NZD. That's the next one. After that's NZD, and then we're going to have AUD USD, AUD USD. Good. Complete the remaining one. So the next one is NZD. So we're going to have NZD USD, and so on and so forth. We're going to complete the next one. The next one is going to be what? USD will start from card, USD card, and then it runs to the last one, JPY. Then we have card. So card is going to pair with CHF. We have card CHF as the first one, and it runs to you exhaust the remaining one, and then you have CHF JPY. That's the last currency pair. CHF JPY. After that is JPY. JPY cannot pair with any other currency outside here. So you have a total of 28 currency pair if you follow this, and I'd like to see everyone do this right away. Okay, this can be part of our homework. Please complete it, and then we'll just show me tomorrow at tomorrow's section. Okay, so great. I like to exit this point, and then we'll move to our screen again. Dr. J, I celebrate you. Okay. So guys, so that's that for currency pair. So I'm going to run fast. I know most of you have passed this stage, but I'm going to take it because it's a requirement of the course. We're going to run through that. So the next thing is currency exotic pairs. Exotic pairs. Exotic pairs are the combination of these currencies you are seeing: the Russian Federation Ruby, RUB, South African Rand, SAR, South Korea Won, Hong Kong Dollar, Mexican Peso, Indian Rupee, and Singaporean Dollar. When these ones combine with USD, they form the exotic pairs. Just bring out USD and combine with this one, you're having the exotic pairs. Okay, so quickly, I will not waste much time here because we work different. There are 4 major sessions in the market, ladies and gentlemen. So you can write down the major sessions and their time. Number 1 is the Sydney session. The market opened by 5 p.m. EST. Please remember to write the EST. EST means Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time is usually plus 5 or 6 hours, depending I think it's 6 hours this time. You add it to your Nigerian time, then you get the EST time. You add 6 hours to our local time here in Nigeria, and then we get the EST time. Add 6 hours to, or 5 hours to the EST, to the EST to know exactly what time is going to be in Nigeria. So if you have 10 p.m. EST, you add 5 hours to it, it becomes 10 p.m. Nigerian time. So when it's 5 p.m. EST, it's 10 p.m. Nigerian time. And sometimes it could be 6 hours. So you add 6 hours to it and you get, I think at the moment it's 6 hours. At the moment it's 6 hours. They add 6 hours. So market usually starts by 11 o'clock. Excuse me. Okay, so moving on. So you have other session, Tokyo session, Sydney session, New York session. Now, I want to give you guys assignments. Okay, you can ask questions if you're missing anything. You can use the chat box to put down your questions, and I will go through the questions. Now, second assignment is, excuse me, let me write it. The second assignment, you will write out all the time in Nigeria, what time this market opens and closes in Nigeria. Second assignment, find out what time this market open in Nigerian time and what time they close. Find out what they close. Okay, so we have the overlapping session. Now, in the overlapping session, that's when you have high volatility. You have high volatility, you have high liquidity, you have high volume in the market. Volatility, liquidity, and volume, they are usually high at the overlapping sessions. Overlapping simply means that this market has not closed, the next one has opened. So 2 of them are currently active. 2 markets are currently active within the same window. When one is supposed to be ended, has not ended, the other one has started. So it's not like this one has added, another one started. So those overlapping sessions are usually when you find the best opportunity and the best time to trade. So if you have the first overlapping is between 7 p.m. to 2 p.m. Look at it. Sydney session starts by 5 p.m. and closes by 2 p.m. Now, Tokyo session did not wait for it to close. By 7 p.m., Tokyo session has started and it will close by 4 p.m. So you notice that these 2 markets will be active between 7 p.m. and 2 a.m. That's the overlapping session. So you can see that there. You can see that there. 2 of them, Sydney and Tokyo, will be overlapping at that time. Any questions? You have questions, please hit the chat button, and I will try to do justice to that. I'll try to do justice. So, overlapping section. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So you have the Sydney session and you have the London, New York session. London, New York session is another overlapping. Look at here. London, New York session is another overlapping session. Let me, okay, put it in red. Those are the two overlapping sessions. London, Sydney. London, Sydney is the overlapping session. Okay. So you can see that London session will start by 3 a.m. and close by 12 a.m. But look at it. The New York session will start by 8 a.m. So technically, it will overlap from 8 a.m. with the London session, and then it will close by 12 p.m. That's the overlapping session. These are the two major overlapping sessions where you find the best opportunity to trade. Having said that, any questions so far? Any questions so far? If you have a question, please unmute your mic. Don't be shy. Just talk. We'll be able to go through some things if they are not entering well. If I don't get questions from you, I'll start unmuting your mic and start calling your name and start asking you questions one by one. Or you can use the chat box to send me the questions. So I'll read the questions. Remember, this session is supposed to be interactive so that we can discuss very well. Okay. Again, part of what we're doing on this course is Forex basics. We're going to look at pips, we're going to look at lot size, we'll look at time frame. But before we go to HFS, then we'll look at the support and resistance, because we will all need support, resistance, trade, time frame, and trends in HFX. These are things we must use in HFX. Otherwise, we're gambling. In order for us not to gamble, to trade with certainty and precision, we need all those stuffs. So we'll revisit them. Okay. So any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay. Mrs. Gloria, are you following me so far? Can I meet and speak?
Yes, sir.
I know you have a little bit of trading experience.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good one. Evarista, are you okay? Are you following so far?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay. Dr. J, Professor J.
I super celebrate you, sir.
Celebrate you, my brother. Well done, sir. What time is it in your area now?
It's the same time. We have gone back by an hour, so it's 8:44.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Amazing.
How's the family, sir?
We're doing well. We're trying.
Great, great, great.
Thank you so much.
I'm enjoying the lecture.
Yeah, we are going back to the basics.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Well done, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Mr. Atta, how you doing? Mr. Atta, how you doing? You can unmute yourself. Anybody can unmute himself. Just click on your mic, you have your mic.
I'm doing sir. I'm following the lecture.
Oh, you're following. Great. I know you have you have an experience. but I'm just doing what I should do. I should take it from scratch and then refresh your memory. These first 2 days will be very enjoyable. In fact, we will enjoy all through the many sessions because we're going to learn and get better. Okay. Willie FX. I like that name.
Yes, I'm following.
Everything is looking good, right?
Yeah, super good.
Amazing, amazing. Well done, sir. Okay. So now that I've had to speak with everybody, I've heard their voice, and their voice is sounding good, very good. Let's move. Okay. So the next thing I want to look at is not candlestick. So I'm going to be skipping this my material. It's a many years old material I've used in different training. Here they will handle again, very useful here. Okay, so here we'll be looking at lot size and then we'll be looking at P. The truth is that HFX does not need pips, it does not need lot size. But we'll just make a mention of it and I expect you to go read it. So I'm not going to be going very detailed on lot size and pips. Okay, we're going to start with lots. Lots are the volume, the currency units. You're trading with the volume. What volume do you want to trade? Some people look at it in terms of percentage. What volume are you going to be trading? And then the amazing thing about lot size is that you can measure it in dollar. You can measure lot size in dollar. You can measure lot size in dollar. So quickly, I'm going to take you to share another screen where we'll do some writing. We're going to look at the lots and time frame. So quickly, I'm going to share the screen again. This time I want to write. Does everybody see my whiteboard? Okay, does everybody see my whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
Clearly, sir. Clearly, sir.
So here we come again. So we're going to start with pips. Okay. Pip is the smallest unit of price movement. The smallest unit of price movement. Small unit of price movement. Okay. I'm going to take, for example, if price move from 1 naira, I'm going to use the naira symbol. 1 naira, if you move from 1 naira to 2 naira, how many units is that? Who can help me? If you move from 1 naira to 2 naira, how many units is that? So this is how we represent. How you present it is important. We're going to be 1.00040 to 2.0000. Now, how many units is that? It's easier for you to say it's 1. It's not 1, and I'm going to prove it. Now, the next move you're going to see is going to be 1.0001. The next one is going to be, how many units is that? This is 1 already. 1.0002. So that is how it's going to continue, until it gets to 1.9999. Does that make sense? So we're going to be counting each in unit. We're not looking for integer. We're not looking for a whole number. We're looking for the smallest units. And these smallest units are known as P. If price move from 1.0001 to 1.0002, that's 1 pip. If you move from 0.0001 to 1.0009, that's 8 pips already. Now, if it moves to 2, it's going to go through this route. So we have how many pips here? How many pips do we have here? We have about 1, 2, 3, 4. We have about 10,000 pips, ladies and gentlemen. We have about 10,000 pips. Yeah. How did I know? Okay, this is how I know. I'll have 2.0, sorry, 2.0000. And then I have 1.0000. If I subtract this, that's if I still remember anything about our primary school mathematics, I still remember anything. It has not failed me. Okay. 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 So if we're going to do this subtraction, okay. So guys, so we're going to start the subtraction. So this is going to be 0 minus 0. You're going to have 1.00. Sorry, I'm using O. 0, 0, 0, 0, because 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. See, you get to this point. So what you have to minus this, you're going to have 10,000 units. 10,000 units. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 10,000 pips. Now, someone start wondering, how did I know it's 4 decimal units? We'll get to find out that on the principle calculating pips, but we're not going into pips calculation here. We'll just mention the pips. There are rules to pip calculation. You have the general rule, which said after the dot, which is this dot you're seeing now, you count 4 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's exactly what I did. And this rule applies to all currency pairs. All. Naira is part of it. Dollar is part of it. So they are part of the all currency pairs. So it's valid. You know? So that's that. That is that for pips. So pips is the smallest unit. We can calculate pips from 1 unit to 1 unit. Then the next thing is lots. Lot size. The lot size is traded as a volume. But quickly, there are classification of lot size. We have first of all is mini. Mini lot size is 0.01 to 0.09. That's mini. Second one, so this is micro, is mini. This is micro. So the next one is mini. Mini is 0.1 to 0.9. Okay. Okay, brilliant. Now, the implication of this is for every pip, you remember what we call pip? what we went through before. For every pip, the reward is $0.1. Okay, let me use this. Okay, $0.1. $0.1. $0.1 per pip. $0.1 to $0.9 per pip. Is there anybody here who does not understand that? Is there anybody here who does not understand that? Okay, good. Since everybody understands this, we move to the mini. In the mini here, is going to be $1. $1 to $9. And standard. Standard is $10. To $90. Sorry, this is $1, one standard lot size to infinity. So this is going to be basically $90 to infinity. As the case may be. So this is your lot size, basically, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are trading with one standard lot size, you're simply saying that for every one pip movement in the market, you'll be gaining $10 if you're using one standard lot size. So whatever standard lot size you're using is going to be that amount. If you're using two standard lot size, it's going to be $20. If you're using 5 standard lot size, it's going to be times 10. That's $50 per pip. So if you win 5 pips, you've already made $25. The same way if you are losing in that trade, that's the same way you're going to lose. So you have mini, which is a little bit conservative, and you have the most conservative one, which is micro, 0.01. So if you win 10 pips, is equal to $10. But in the mini, if you win 10 pips or 0.01, you make $10. On a standard lot size, it's $100. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. So I'm going to wipe this, and then we move to the last thing, which is time frame. Time frame is very important in trading. Number one, time frame gives you information on when the candle opens and closes. Time frame is usually at what time does the candle open, and for what's the time range. Now, in time frame, you have seconds, but I'm going to start with 1 minute. I'm going to have 1 minute. It's called M1. M1 is 60 seconds. Number 2, you have M5. M5 is 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Then you have M15, 15 minutes. You have M30, 30 minutes. You have H1. You have 60 minutes. That is 1 hour. Then you have H4. You have 4 hours. You have 4 hours. Then you have D1. You have daily time frame, week. W1 is weekly. Finally, monthly, MN. Monthly. Here, one time frame simply represents monthly, and that time frame is known as candlestick. Candlestick. But I'm going to stop on candlestick today. I'm going to stop on candlestick today. Tomorrow we're going to do support, resistance, and we'll dive into candlestick properly. So we'll do support, resistance tomorrow, and we'll dive into candlesticks. There are some few candlesticks you need to know that will help us in this business. So we'll look at support, resistance, trend, and then few candlesticks that are very important to us. So guys, with this, any questions so far? I want to strongly believe that today has been awesome. Our time has come to the end, but I just want to take some few questions. Few questions. Any question, people?
So far so good, sir.
Sorry?
No questions here, sir.
From your end, no question. Okay. Evarista, question from your end?
No.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Frederick, I suppose you don't have a question.
No question from my side.
And Madam Gloria, I suppose you're fine.
Yes, sir.
So today just started with a very light notes. I'm happy. We're going to end the question here today. Please attempt don't say it's too simple, attempt it too. Tomorrow we'll discuss. So tomorrow we're going to go into support, resistance on little time frame, on a smaller time frame, and then we're going to look at same for a trend, and then some basic reversal candlesticks that we'll need. We'll need this for our HFX entries. That's for tomorrow. And then for Wednesday, we're going to be looking at HFX platform, how it works. How do you buy? How do you sell? How to set it up? How to try the first demo trade? And all this stuff. Everything we have learned so far we support, and then we're going to try them out. And then from that time, it's going to be boom, 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 until we start recording 5/5 for the session, 5/5, 6/6, 4/4. And that's what we'll keep doing. And then we'll keep blowing everyone's mind in your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of this call this evening. I celebrate every one of you guys, and then trusting God that tomorrow we'll do justice to this. Please stay safe, stay calm, and stay beautiful. Love you guys. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir. Super celebration.